Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijay and we will continue our learning in our Python mastery series. In the previous video, we learned about variables and we understood how we can store data in a variable. Extending that discussion, we will now understand what is a data type and why data type is important. So, first question, what is data type? Whatever data we are storing in a variable, defining the type of data is called a data type. Let's say I'm storing a numeric data or I'm storing a name to be precisely called as string data. So that should be treated differently. Python cannot treat it in a similar way or cannot store in a similar way because for Python, if we want to perform operations like uppercase, lowercase on a name or on a numeric, we have to perform the operations like addition, subtraction. All that is possible when Python stores in a different way. Okay. Uh, it is very similar that in kitchen we store sugar and water in different type of container. We cannot store them in the same type of containers. It is very close to that example. Okay. So let's jump to our blackboard to understand. So this was the variables that we created last time. So customer name, if you see, every data is different from each other. Here we are storing the name. Here we are storing the numbers in a decimal format. Here we are storing the whole number. Here we are storing the true false value. This is multiple values that we are storing. So we require a different types of data type so that Python understands that we will be performing the further operations on that. Okay. So defining what are the data types in Python. One is string, where we store data like name, city, all of that thing. Okay. Then we have integer like 100, 250, any integer number. Okay. Then we have data type like float, where we are storing the decimal point numbers 350.50, 299.99, all of that numbers. And then boolean, that is true false value, like here is the bill paid, uh, is the is it sunny weather outside, all that type of true false type of data we are storing as boolean. Okay. Then also for the multiple values we have some data types: list, tuple, set, and we have dictionary. These are some advanced data types, they are heavily used when we are coding in Python. So for list, like here we saw an example. What are the dishes that are ordered? So it can be multiple values: masala dosa, paneer pizza, samosas. In that way, there can be a multiple values. So that is all list. Okay. Tuple is very similar to list, just it has a property of mutability. So what does that mean? That whenever we are storing any data in the list, we can modify that data further. But in tuple, once the data is defined, it cannot be modified. It is widely used in some places, like suppose we are storing days of a week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So once it is defined, we should not allow the user to change that thing. So in that, we use tuple data type. Set is used widely whenever we want to store non I would say non duplicate data. Like let's say I'm storing something, a list of students, so that should not duplicate the list. So that can be a non duplicate data. There we use the set. Dictionary is something labeled data we want to store. Let's say I'm storing a customer details, so it will have the name, phone number, email ID of the customer. So all that can be held in a one variable, and that will be uh, inside dictionary. It can be stored, and every information will have its own label. So name will have its label like name, phone number, whatever we are storing. Let me give you an example to make you understand better. Although we will be covering this data types, each of them with a separate video, but just to give you an example of dictionary, all of them I give you an example. Let's say list. So it can be like this one: dosa, samosa, and there will be idli. Okay. For tuple, as I said, like we are storing Monday, Tuesday. Okay, that all is a tuple. Okay, I'm not writing all the days. Then we continue with the set. Okay, so with set, the things will be like, and don't worry about this brackets and everything. uh, each have different type of brackets that we will understand in more detail when we are studying each of the data type with a separate videos. Okay, so set, as I told, like let's say we are storing the table numbers 1 2 3 4, so it should not have a duplicate value because there could be only one table with a number. There cannot be same number assigned to two different tables. And then dictionary, we can have name as Rahul, city as Pune. Okay, so these are the data types and its example. Although we will be covering this in more detail whenever we have that lined up in our video series. So don't worry about that much. It's just an introduction, or I would say a bird eye view that we are doing it right now. So let's jump to the coding part now. I will show you how we can identify the data types of each of the variable. And one good thing about Python is that we don't have to define the data type. Python is smart enough. Okay, let me first define a variable, customer name Rahul. Okay, and if I print the data type, the type keyword type function is used to identify the data type. Python will tell us. We don't have to worry about that. If we ask via type function, Python will respond us regarding that. So here you can see string data type. If I want to identify for the numeric, let's say table number is table number is 2, and print type table number. Okay, so here you can see the data type is integer. Now coming to the float data type. So we have price is equal to 350.50, and it's very straightforward. Just we have to use the type function. Here you can see that we are not defining anywhere the integer. Python is smart enough. From the data itself, it is able to identify that thing. Okay, so it is float. Okay, now if I go further, the boolean is bill paid true, and if I print, okay. And just to give you an example for the advanced data type 2, for list, let's say I am printing the list of the available dishes. So here you can see The data type is list. Although we will be covering this all the advanced data type in the upcoming videos, so we don't need to worry about that part. Sorry. And also there is one more data type, none is there. So if I say coupon is equal to none, okay, and if I try to print, none is kind of, you can say, null value, nothing is present, it is not zero, but in programming it means nothing. Okay, so if I print the type of coupon, the class is none type. Okay, so we understood that type variable is type function is used to identify the data type of a variable. Okay, so as we did in last time, let's start with a mini project kind of thing for the data type. So Code Cafe, our theme, mini project related to data type. Okay, so let's say I'm storing all the details that we had: customer name Rahul, then we have table number, let's say it's 2, then we have bill amount, it's, let's say, 350.50, then payment done, it's true. We are storing what is the orders, that is okay. The order that is done is pizza, burger. Okay, we are keeping two items only. And let's say we introduce a dictionary also. If you don't understand, that is completely fine. We will be covering it in more detail. Okay, this is just for the reference right now. Name Rahul, then phone, okay. I'm entering a random number, and semicolon is very important. Okay, so these are the details that we s- have that. Uh, Rather than doing this, I have a better idea. Let's do one thing. We can store the variables here itself. Let's do customer name. Let's say name is, oops, I guess the cursor is not working. Okay, now it's working. Right. If I define name, then the name will be customer name. Then we have table that will be pulled from table number. Then I have bill amount that will be pulled from bill amount. Okay. So we have defined these variables here, and in dictionary we are using the same variable. Okay. And then finally we are defining bill paid, and it will be pulled from payment done. Okay. So this is all we are doing, and what we will do, print welcome to Code Cafe. and we will print all the data that we had. Print customer. Okay. If I run this program, you can see it pulled the name Rahul, table number 2. So we have done nothing. We have stored different types of data in different variables, and with the correct data type it is stored. Now in case if we have to perform any operation, let's say if I have to add 100 rupees as a tax to Rahul's bill, so I can do bill amount plus 100. Okay, this is possible because the data type is correct. Let's say if bill amount is not the data type as float value, if I try to do now, I run this again, and if I try to do it now, it will give me an error because it cannot add 100 to a string data type. And whenever we enclose anything under the inverted commas, that is treated as a string data type. Okay, I will correct this. So this is our mini project just to understand how we can store the data with the correct different data types. And I will repeat again, don't worry about the list and dictionary, all these data types. We will be covering it in more detail in the upcoming videos. Okay, so this is it for this video. And I would say that till now we understood what data type is, how we can check the data type using the type function and all of that. In the further videos, we will be looking how we can typecast the data type, how we can further uh, change it the data type from string to integer, something like that. All of that thing we will be understanding. Okay, so keep watching this series. If you like, please subscribe and share. Happy coding.